Hello, hello. Man, my camera still sucks on here. Whatever. Um, haven't done one of these for about 2 weeks, give or take. So I was like, I should do one. Um, Two things today. I guess before we get into that, just an update on everything. Um, since last time, I have gotten a Bumble and a Tinder and whatnot. You know, it's a little better. Um, and matched a couple people, talked to a couple. Yeah, it's fun to talk. I actually have more of a vlog about that. Maybe I'll do tomorrow or something. But yeah, nothing crazy. Not working. I guess Got Junk's really slow, so I'm not going back there right now. And yeah, um, I guess kind of just jump into it. First thing I wanted to talk about was a story. So when I was little, I broke my skull, and I got probably can't see it. I got 44 stitches, pretty much like right there. Broke my skull, got a blood clot in my brain, and uh, yeah, it was a mess. I was 5. Um, my family went up to the mountains to go sledding and whatnot, and my dad and I were gonna race down the hill, and the snow was a little too deep where that was, so I couldn't put my feet down to stop. So I ran into a tree. And this was a story, of course, like I was 5, so I was old enough to remember a decent amount of it. But I always thought I knew like everything about it. And I was driving with my dad the other day. We were coming back from the desert, and I don't know what spurred it, but it was like, we were driving past the point where it had like happened. And I asked, like, or I told him, I was like, I think I remember pretty much everything that, from that day, from that event. And so I kind of was like, oh yeah, like I remember blah blah blah. I remember like being in the back of the white truck we had at the time and like throwing up. And I remember getting home and uh being in the living room in the dark, and my mom was like, I was in my mom's lap. And I remember like pain every once in a while, but like it hurt, but it didn't hurt too bad. And I remember being in the hospital and having people come by and like give me gifts and whatnot. But so I said all this to my dad, and then my dad said, "Oh well, like you don't remember like this," and I might not even remember it now. But some of the stuff he told me was like, "Yeah, like you hit the tree, and like it didn't seem too bad. Like it seemed like you were just hurt, because it wasn't like my head like caved in or anything like that." And he was like, "Yeah, like so we kind of stayed there a little longer, and then you started screaming like my head, and we were like, okay, we better get going. We drove home, which was maybe like hour 40 minute, like 40 minutes to an hour drive, and get home, and it was getting dark, and my dad called some of the paramedics. He's a firefighter, so called some of his paramedic friends and kind of told them what was going on. And he had said, I don't know really why I called them, because at this point, might as well just bring you to the hospital. And then they called my grandparents to come take care of my younger sister and my older sister, who was only 9 at the time, so still fairly young. And my younger sister was, I don't know, what, 3? Um, and they drove me to Children's Hospital, and it was pretty full. And my dad went up to one of the one of the nurses up front, and was like, "Oh, like this, we were sledding. He hit a tree. He's screaming. His head hurts." And they said, "Okay, just stand right here. Like, don't even sit down." And they brought out someone to take me away. They took me away, and they did they were going to do like CAT scan or one of the scans where I had to sit completely still. They stick you in the tube type thing. And they were worried that I wouldn't be able to do that because my head hurt so bad and I was young and I was crying and I was in like a fit. Um, but I guess by that point, I was already in like a coma type state where I was like passed out. And I don't remember that. and So they put me in, take me out, scan went fine. And my dad looks at, or the doctor comes out with the readings and everything. And he's like, the doctor was like, well, you see this side, like, you see the wrinkles in the brain, whatever. And he's like, oh, you see this side. And it's just like white, I guess. He's like, that's not good. And what it was all the blood that was like between my skull and my brain. And but I was saying, well, at that point, we knew it was pretty bad. And I don't know, something when he said it was just made it more real to me. Like I had always known it was bad, but I never think I'd heard my parents really talk to me about the story. Um, so that was interesting. Um, and very, yeah, maybe it's just me, but a very subtle like tone change when he was saying this part about how like that's when it was real. Like this isn't good. Like, and my dad would ask the doctor like, "Is this gonna change him? Is he gonna make it? Like if he comes out alive, like is he gonna be paralyzed? Is he gonna have brain damage?" Doctor said, well, "We can't really tell now. Like um, pretty much if he goes back to normal over time, like then he's back to normal. But if there's changes, it's hard to tell at this point." Um, I don't know. That was just weird hearing the differences. I remember being in the hospital, and one of the things I remember was a nurse or doctor would come in, and they would, I don't know if it was IV or some sort of shot, blood test, I don't know. They would put a needle on me, and I would scream. I'd sit there and scream in the hospital because it hurt so bad. And I'm 5 at this time. And, I remember people coming in and bringing me stuffed animals. I was really into Lion King. And around this time, the second Lion King came out. So it was all about like the Disney plushes. And my mom still probably has some of them somewhere. And there's one picture that is like most famous for me while in the hospital here. It's me surrounded by all these stuffed animals, and I'm in this bed, and they had completely like shaved like this half of my head. It was gross looking, and I just had like giant bags under my eyes, and I looked miserable. And um, yeah, I don't know. But that was just a story about me, and something I've always wondered is, has that event really affected my brain in some way? Has that changed how I perceive things, how I perceive various, situations? Am I a little slow to something and I just don't recognize it, and other people do? Um, for the most part, I think I'm good. Well, I'm a little twisted, but yeah. So I've always just kind of wondered that. Um, of course, it's nothing like huge because I can function, I can walk, and can speak, and this is all in the system, and this is like a matrix thing. Um, yeah, but even after, I remember going to church and people would, either talk to me a little weird or like funny, or, um, I think I wasn't in kindergarten yet, so I think I'm either must have just turned like 5, or I was going to school next year. Um, yeah, so it was just weird story, interesting story. If someone watching doesn't know that about me. Um, and then, yeah, I guess I'll kind of move on from there. Listening to one of my favorite songs in the past little while was by Dean Lewis, Be All Right. It's been on the radio, it's been everywhere. Dean Lewis, it was kind of like his one hit wonder. I think he's coming out with some new music now, or in the past little while he has been. And I remember, like, the one time I remember listening to the song, I was at Lotus and Luna working, when they were at their smaller shop. Lotus and Luna is a little shop where Michaela started working, my ex, and then uh, I started volunteering, like interning there, and then they ended up hiring me. But I remember being there in their small little shop, and they would have music playing, and I don't know if I was playing it or someone played it, and the song came up, and it's just one of those songs. I just remember that moment with Michaela was there and some other people, and but I heard it again today, and I was listening to the lyrics, and I was like, man, like this. This is kind of a relatable situation to what he is saying in the song. And pretty much what it's talking about is he is at the end of, or the end of, or a relationship that just ended. And he has all these thoughts in his mind, and his friends are saying, like, you just got to move on, like, everything's going to be fine. Um, I'm like, damn, like, some of the stuff's like spot on. Let me, I'll read some of it really quick. I have the lyrics here. I don't know like what verse or everything's like perfect, but um, uh, so it starts off like, I look up from the ground to see your sad and teary eyes. You look away from me, and I see there's something you're trying to hide. Um, when I had that talk with Michaela, on the bench looking over the water, that was definitely something that was going on. Like by the time, sorry, by the time I had asked her, like, there's one of two things you can say right now, is like either we can try it, or like it's not gonna work. And when I said that, that was something where I saw it just in her face, like teary eyed. I don't know if she was teary eyed at that time or whatever, but I just saw it. I reach out my hand, but it's cold. You pull away again. I wonder what's on your mind. And then you say to me, you made a dumb mistake. Different situation. She didn't necessarily cheat on me or say it was a mistake, but she started seeing someone. Um, she wasn't mine, so that's not her. That's like not bad or anything in any way. You start to tremble and your voice begins to break. You say the cigarettes on the counter weren't your friends. I don't smoke. She doesn't smoke cigarettes. But again, kind of just reemphasizing, like, could tell something was wrong. Uh, and I feel the color draining from my face, and that's something I felt at that moment. Felt just like everything just washed off me, and it was like every emotion, every feeling just became like empty. Not like numb, but just like empty. But like there's some, I don't. I'm describing this weird, but empty. But at the same time, there's emptiness. Emptiness was just still so heavy. Um, it wasn't a weightless emptiness. It was like a hard, dense mass of emptiness. um, and then and then later, it says, and my friend said, I know you love her, but it's over, mate. It doesn't matter. Put the phone away. It's never easy to walk away. Let her go. It'll be all right. Um, and that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, it's something where I know this. I know everything's gonna be okay. I've been having dreams recently where she's been in them, and one of them was we were just sitting together, and she like had to take her pills or whatever, her medicine. And I was like, oh, like, why are you taking pills? Like, you have a boyfriend, you don't need to take your pills anymore. And I was like, wait, for some reason, like, having a boyfriend meant she didn't have to take her pills. And then she was like, or I don't even know if she said anything, but I was like, wait, you do have like a boyfriend, right? And she's like, no, like, something along the lines of like, do you want to try now? Like, I don't know if it was anything like I made a mistake, but like, do you want to try going out again? And even in the dream, I was like, I don't think I can. Like I don't know. Like I gotta think about this. And you wake up from a dream like that, and you're just like, oh, like, it's something that isn't real, but man, it can mess with you for like for it can mess with me for a whole day. And then maybe 2 nights ago, I had another dream where I think we were just talking or something, and I was just so mad, and just felt like, again, like it's not her fault by any means, but I just felt so like betrayed. And she was in my dream, and it was just yelling, and it's just like, how could you like how could you move on so fast? Something too in the dream irrational, but it was like, you were cheating on me before, right? And she's like, well, my parents asked me to like go up and like talk to this guy when I was with them, and that's like when we met. Like, I don't know the guy, but I'm just like so hurt in this dream, and it's not even real. And I wake up and I'm just like, and just an example of how dreams like mess with me so much, and I hate it. Um, Last night wasn't a bad dream though, so I think it's just one of those time things where time moves on and you realize like the dreams start to fade. You start thinking less and less, and I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. Let me look through the song a little more, see if there's anything else. Uh, I don't. I think that's kind of the chorus. That was the main thing. Um, so I asked to look back at all of my messages you'd sent, and I know it wasn't right, but it was effing with my head, and everything deleted like the past. It was gone, and when I touched your face, I could tell you're moving on. Just kind of, I think, not word for word is how things went with me and her, but definitely the emotions, I think, were, for me, the song is kind of hitting spot on. And it's fun. I think it's funny how the song, the memory I have of this song so vividly was with her. And I remember talking about the song even with her. And now, I don't know, say that was a year and a half ago. And now it is where I'm at. And it's a weird foreshadowing you would like see in a movie, and now it's real life. And that's odd. That's odd to me that, to me, it connects so closely. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of ranting and raving here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird sometimes that stuff happens, that you can look back and you're like, damn. Or you like, I think more so with a song or like something that happened at the time that foreshadowed something in real life and not just a movie or a TV show. Um, but moving on, trying to slow. I think mentally I know what I have to do, but at the same time, I think I maybe talked about this. You see something out. I go to the swap meet and I see like, oh, like I saw a Minecraft, Minecraft like gift bag, like a kid's for a present. And I'm like, oh, Minecraft, like we used to play Minecraft. Then it's a gift bag. I'm like, oh, I bought her Adventure Time gift bags. Like, so stupid, but it's something that I don't want it to click, but it clicks. And I think the only way to change that is have something take its place, or eventually time um, takes it away, which is hard. But I think a lot of people go through it. I don't feel like I'm the only one. I think sometimes for me, it's harder to get over relationships than other people. Not everyone, but I think there's people out there that move on really fast, and that can be good and that can be bad. Same with me, it could be good, it could be bad. But we don't know what the future holds. I don't know. I hope for the best. There's another song by Bastille. No, Vance Joy. I'll share this really quick too. Let me find this song. The song is Missing Piece. So Missing Piece is pretty one of the lines in the song. It says something around the lines of like, when I'm in a room with you, I know the missing piece is found. Like you are the missing piece, something that I didn't even know I was missing, type thing. And I think that's what I gotta look for, is something where I don't even know I'm missing this thing in my life, but someone will come along, and once they do, and I'll just be like, where have you been? Like, the, oh, hi, Abizaba. but when, um, but when I'm somewhere and something will just click, and it'll be like, that is what I've been missing. That is what I needed, and I didn't even know it. Um, so I don't know. That's something that God just hold on to. Um, yeah, I was kind of wrapping up. So David, you can watch this later. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone, all my one viewers. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.